Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I have a dupe palette comparison today. We've got the Aurora palette from Shop AlterEgo, or AlterEgo. I just said Shop AlterEgo, but AlterEgo, which looks like this, which is supposed to be almost identical or identical to the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which looks like this. This is $65. And this is only $16. Looking at these together, they look really, really similar. And as you can see, they each come with a mirror. This one's just a little bit smaller. AlterEgo is cruelty-free and vegan. And also, they ship out of LA. And the pan size is just a little bit larger than Natasha Denona. They both have names underneath the pans. This one's a little more travel friendly. This one's really bulky and gets really dirty easily. But $16 and $65. So Sahara, oh my gosh, Aurora on this side, Natasha Denona Sunrise on this side. I will be using different brushes, but they all basically function the same. And I've got my trusty Cinema Secrets here to clean the brushes off in between. So let's go ahead and pin my hair back and see if this is a dupe. Alrighty, you guys, I've put some powder down so that I don't ruin my foundation or anything like that. And also to help create this winged out shape, I'm going in with the Natasha Denona palette. And I'm going in with the shade Morgan at first. I'm just putting this in the crease. It's a really nice peachy crease shade. And I do often feel that I need to build this up. There is a bunch of fallout on here, as you can see, my mirror. But so that doesn't bother me at all or kick up. That just means that, the shadows are very, very pigmented. And you know how Anastasia Beverly Hills shadow palettes have a lot of kick up in the pans. They're just very pigmented. So there is Morgan from Natasha Denona. The corresponding shade in the Aurora palette is going to be Star. Obviously, kick up again, yes. A little bit more than the Natasha Denona, I shall say. But nonetheless, it's still just as pigmented. And so far, they look about the same. And also keep in mind, when someone's putting on their eyeshadow, they may be better at it with one hand than the other. There's a lot of factors that go into play when doing eyeshadow on each eye. This is all about the coloring. So these look identical to me. I'm going to take a little bit of citrine from, see all that fallout there? Citrine from Natasha Denona, and I'm just going to put this above our transition shade for a little bit of yellow in there. In the Aurora palette, the corresponding shade is Sunburst, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it twice like I did on that side. So far, things are looking the same. This actually looks more pigmented than this side. From the Natasha Denona palette, I am taking Jasper. There's a little less fallout kickback with this shade. This is almost like a terracotta shade. Just focusing that, right underneath that transition shade that we put down. So very pigmented. I mean, so far, so good. The corresponding shade in this palette is Flare. So far, these look spot on as far as color payoff, as well as the color in general, and there's less kick up on this shade as well in the pan. So far, this is what it looks like. Looking identical to me. All right, from the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to take Glory. I really like this shade. I'm not tapping off my brush either. And I'm just kind of layering things as I go. I'm just layering up these shades. Very pigmented. Corresponding shade in the Aurora palette is Nova. Ooh, very pigmented. Hardly any kick up in either pan for this shade. So far, they look identical. In the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to take a little bit of Carnelian and put it right up here. Got to build that up a little bit. It's because we lost some shade blending it away. Corresponding shade in the shop, in the Aurora palette is Soul. And we're just going to add that to the brow bone as well, twice. Identical in my opinion. I'm now going to take Clove, which is the darkest shade we have in the Natasha Denona palette, and put that on the outer corner and just work it inward a bit. Pigmented, a little bit of kick up in the pan. This color is kind of hard to work with from the Natasha Denona palette. It's a bit patchy, so I have to really kind of work with it. Corresponding shade in the Aurora palette is Twilight. I'm noticing this is a little bit more on the pink side rather than, you know, like more of that deep purple. It's a little less pigmented, but let's see if we can build it up to the intensity that I have the Natasha Denona one at. By the way, I always ask my 8-year-old what is the dupe side, and she always guesses right. I don't know how she does that. So far, it's building to identical as the other side, but it is a little bit off in color, just a smidge. From the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to take this shade called Aster, and it's just like a duochrome purple and blue shade. I really like it a lot. I'll place that in the center. But as you can see, it's taking me a lot to build this up. This is dry with a finger, and this is supposed to be a super metallic shade. So that's what that looks like. The corresponding shade is Dawn from the Dupe palette. Okay. Now there's the pigment, I see. So that looks almost identical. What do you guys think? Also remember my lighting. This one looks a little bit more pigmented than this one in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's hard to tell. Natasha Denona side, I want to take Laurel right here. Put that on the inner portion, the inner third. Can't see anything yet. It does take some layering to get color payoff here. And I'm also going to use that for the inner corner. And you guys know I'm obviously cleaning off these brushes. And also for the brow bone, just a little bit of shimmer there. So that's that. Corresponding shade in the Aurora palette is is Stellar. I'm like, Brilliance? No. So far, this one already paid off. I'm going to put that on the inner corner as well. This looks exactly the same. And the brow bone, my lights. Remember my lights. Just know that you can see it. Wish you could see. There it is. Okay. Moving on. In the Natasha Denona palette, I want to take the shade Phlox right here and place it right over top of this. So it looks like that. So cranberry, kind of reddish cranberry shade. I love this shade from this palette a lot. So it looks like that. Corresponding shade in the Aurora palette is Ray, right here. So we're going to go ahead and put that over. Wow. Look at that payoff. Ooh. I don't have to build that up. That's more pigmented, in my opinion. But I'll do it just to be fair. Really, really pretty. From the Natasha Denona palette, I want to take a little bit of Spark, which is this bronze shade. Put that on our inner corner, inner third. It's hard to tell. With a brush, I'm not getting anything. Let's see my finger. I don't know. I'm going to take Azalea and place that on the inner corner. Just know, guys, that for that particular shade, I did mess up. So I put the Natasha Denona on this side, and that would be Azalea, the bronze shade, and this was the AlterEgo side. So for comparison, just look at the eyes. What do you think? I think they look almost identical. All right, from the Sunrise palette, I want to take Day Spring and place that on top. It's so hard to layer these colors. But this is more of a gold bronze shade, a lighter gold shade. I don't know. Corresponding shade would be Lumiere. Look at that. They look almost identical. But this one looks like it has more payoff. Doesn't it? What do you guys think? Thinking it is looking the same. I want to pack on Glory on the outer corner with this one, and I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'm like, I don't know, I'm thinking. Just looking for a brush. Same brush I used before. Glory. This is the Natasha Denona side. So far, I can't tell a difference, guys. In the AlterEgo, the corresponding shade is Nova. That's that one we used earlier. So the pigmentation on this particular shade is off just a smidge, but you can see they look the same on the eyes, in my opinioning. From the Natasha Denona palette, I want to take Agate right here, looks like this, and try and put that on the inner corner to lighten things up. So that's working. Now we're getting somewhere. That's pretty. From the Aurora palette, we're going to be taking Stellar. Looks exactly, ooh, this one's even more pigmented. There's no fallout on my face, by the way, or anywhere. So I think that's where we're going to leave it for the top of, the eye, and let's move on to the lower lash line. All right, I've just added some liner, the Joa I'm So Fly liner, and for lashes, I went in with the AlterEgo lashes in the style Flare. These are really nice and flirty, but they don't detract from the eye look at all. So do they look identical? I think yes, they do. So for the lower lash line, going in with the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, going to take, it's like, why can't I find anything when I need it? I'm just going to take the shade Morgan. I'm going to do this side all at one time. And then I'm going to put Glory on the whole lower lash line. And then Clove on the outer corner. A little bit more. Just to deepen things up. And that'll be the lower lash line for Natasha Denona's side. from the Aurora palette, going in with Star, which would be the equivalent to Morgan. And then Nova, which is the equivalent to, I think it's Poppy. You can just tell what is what. They look so similar. And then the darkest shade is Twilight, which would be the dupe for Clove. Literally looking the same. I want to put a little bit of brilliance on my lower right there, and the shade in the Natasha Denona for brilliance is Laurel, right here. I'm going to add some liner and mascara, and we'll talk. All right, now we're all set. I wanted to show you some swatches. So the bottom is the Natasha Denona palette, and the top is the AlterEgo palette. You know, this is a little bit different, but essentially the same. This is a little bit lighter than this one. Again, it could be the lighting. These look identical. These look pretty identical, spot on. And this is the AlterEgo side compared to the Natasha Denona for that purpley shade. And I only swiped once, and I had to build this one up twice. I can even try a little bit more. That's that Alter shade. And it's still, you know, the AlterEgo is still more pigmented. So in my opinion, it is a dupe, you know. It's only $16. The Natasha Denona is $65. Let's get a close-up look of the eyes. So this would be the AlterEgo Natasha Denona. I think it's a dupe. This is not my first impression of this either. So the Aurora palette does wear all day long, and the Natasha Denona does fade a little bit throughout the day. Now, I want to mention that you can get 10% off using my code. It's a non-affiliate code at all, using Ashley10 if you want to get any of the palettes or the lashes from their site, shopalterego.com. I do want to let you know they do send me their stuff, but I don't recommend anything to you guys that I don't really highly love myself. And I tested this prior, and then I decided I wanted to make a video about it. So looking at the eyes again, we got $16 or $65. Personally, I wish I never bought this, because if I would have known this was out, I would have just got this. And honestly, this is more lightweight, travel friendly. I like the mirror in it. I think this is a perfect size. This is really, really bulky. It gets super dirty, and I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. I have a couple of her other palettes, and they shatter, they break the shades. I don't know. This, to me, they have all the shade names on the back. It's got the expiration date, the cruelty-free, vegan, Los Angeles. They're on Instagram. I love the look of this. And then here is the Natasha Denona. To me, they look identical, except that obviously the pan size is a little bit bigger in Natasha Denona. The palette weighs more, and it's more expensive. So would you pay $16 or $65? $16 or $65? You choose. I personally would have paid for the Aurora palette and not the Natasha Denona, because I don't think her palettes are worth the price tag, period. That's my honest opinion, because I own a few of them. I own 4 of her palettes, and I've been disappointed each time, especially with that Biba palette. So I did the Sahara versus the Biba, and that is a dupe too. I will link some videos here and in the cards at the end to where you can go and obviously reference back to other videos I've done of theirs, but I used to pay for their stuff all by myself. Like, I didn't just always get it sent to me. I did used to pay for it myself because I really liked it. So I like this eye a little bit better personally than this one, but what do you guys think? Would you buy the Aurora palette over the Natasha Denona, or are you a die-hard Natasha Denona fan and would pay the $65? Just know you can get 10% off. I know that's not a lot, but it is over $3 to $3.10. So you're going to save on shipping. I don't know if they ship worldwide, international. I don't think so, but within the USA they do. So yeah, let me know down below. Will you be picking up the Aurora palette based on my review? I highly recommend it. I love AlterEgo. Love these lashes. I did do the lash video with all of their 8 styles of lashes that they released. And yeah, if you want to check that video out, it's in my video list down below. If you like videos like this, dupe videos, give it a like. Subscribe if you are not already. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.